Composer Gloves here, and today we're going to talk about bit depth and what it is. So this is really important for the next video we're going to be talking about. So let's just really quick get our heads around this. You've probably seen it in digital audio because we are dealing with discrete values. So we're chopping things up, as you should have an idea from the sample rate DSP videos here, video. Now, what happens when you want to get volume? So now we know how to recreate pitch, but how do you recreate, the volume of that pitch, the amplitude? And so let's really quick talk about that. So I have an Edison here, and it's got a kick loaded up. And if we were to zoom in really close, we will see the data points on our sample. There's like all over the place. And you see that they are at particular value levels where they are. And how do we get these value levels? How do we determine how many value levels we can have? And that is where bit depth comes in. So things work a little differently with bit depth. So let's say we have an 8-bit sound. That does not mean we have 8-bit levels. That means we have 8 bits of information to work with. So we could have a volume level of, in binary, 0000001, or just like 01000101 or 10001. So we have all these options. So it's not necessarily only 8 levels of volume range. We have a lot more than 8 levels. But if we move up to 16, we just doubled our options, and that is a lot more dynamic range. And if we go up to 32, we just got even more dynamic range. So you have all these areas that you can put your point pretty exactly where you want it, as far as where you want to place the volume of a particular point. And this allows for increased resolution. But let's say you want to use a bit crusher, and what that does is that reduces the bit depth. So if you have a 32-bit and you reduce it to 16-bit, you did not, in other plugins like hard clippers and distortion plugins, they'll usually shove the values to the minimum and the maximum, so to -1 and to 1. But with this, you are reducing the dynamic range. So let's say the point was right here, and here's our point, and let's say this is a 32-bit or 24-bit, or actually this is a 16-bit. So let's say this is a 16-bit, and that's where it is on 16 bits, but that value doesn't exist in 8 bits, let's say, because I don't know for sure. Well, what would happen is it'd shift to the nearest 8-bit position. So maybe it'd go down a little bit or up a little bit, and this would go down a little bit and up a little bit, and so on and so forth to conform to our new bit depth. And that's pretty much how that works. And that's what bit depth is. So when you render out your songs, usually 24 is okay, because if we just discussed, you have 24 digits of binary to work with. And when you're dealing with really soft sounds, you're actually going to want to use dithering, because it will create a more faithful bit depth values. We'll talk about dithering later, but that's what bit depth is. And so now when you're rendering out songs and you see that bit depth option, you can go, oh yeah, I know what this is and what it does. If you have any questions about this, let me know, and have a blessed day.